Have you ever found yourself trying to dynamically insert components in Vue.js, only to hit a wall? It can be frustrating, right? If that's you, then you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into how to insert child components on the fly without using compile or VHTML. I know how challenging it can be when you're trying to manipulate HTML and Vue components at the same time. You're not alone in this struggle. Many developers face similar issues when trying to achieve dynamic rendering. Here's the specific situation we're looking at. One user recently asked, how can I insert new Vue.js components dynamically within a block of HTML? They provided a code snippet that illustrates their challenge. Sound familiar? If so, let's explore this together and find a solution. So what could be causing this issue? The challenge lies in rendering both the HTML and the child components correctly. We'll break it down step by step so you can understand how to achieve this. And don't go anywhere. I've got a crucial tip at the end that will help you master dynamic component insertion in Vue.js. To dynamically insert child components in Vue.js, the user should start by modifying the output function. Instead of returning a string of HTML, they can return an array of Vue components and plain text. Next, the user should update the parent component's template to use the render function. This allows Vue to render the array returned from the output function correctly. Now, the user needs to ensure that the child component is defined correctly. The child component should be able to accept props and render its content accordingly. Finally, the user should test the implementation. They can enter text in the input field and see if the child components are inserted dynamically at the correct positions within the HTML. Did you know? Vue.js was created by a former Google engineer, Evan You, who wanted to build a more flexible and approachable framework. It's come a long way since then. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. This user provides an alternative approach for dynamically inserting child components in Vue.js 2, specifically for those using Vue.js with Webpack. They explain how to ensure Vue.compile is available by modifying the Webpack configuration. For Vue.js 2, they suggest changing the line in webpack.base.conf.js to use the full build of Vue. For Vue.js 3, they recommend adding a runtime compiler rule in Vue.config.js. The user also shares a simplified version of the parent component, which uses Vue.compile to handle arbitrary HTML strings and includes the child component. Here's the crucial tip I promised. Always consider using render functions for dynamic component insertion. This approach not only keeps your code clean, but also enhances performance. And there you have it. You should now be able to dynamically insert child components in Vue.js without any hassle. Remember, mastering these techniques will make your development process much smoother. If you found this helpful, hit the subscribe button for more tips, and don't miss our next video on advanced Vue.js techniques.